Hello everyone, my name is Jamila and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to be doing a series of the sun in all the houses, so ranging from the first house into the 12th house. So feel free to look at my other videos, at my other contents in regards to synastry and just natal positions in astrology. But first and foremost, I want to start off by talking about an introduction to the sun and synastry. So in astrology, the sun shines its light on the house it occupies. But we must be mindful that whilst the sun can energize and enlighten, it also has the power to cause harm. So for example, just like how plants can thrive under direct sunlight, not all will flourish, some will wither and die, So for an example, a cactus plant will thrive in direct sunlight, whilst a spider plant will not do well in direct sunlight. It will literally shrivel up. So my point here is to take into consideration that there are both positives and negatives when it comes to, the sun and where it's positioned in a house in synastry. So like with most things, there's an opposite and then there's also a balance that needs to be harnessed when it comes to the sun's energy and its effectiveness. All right. So each house in astrology represents a different facet, of life. And of life. And the sun's impact can widely it can impact us depending on its placement, and what house it is positioned in regards to synastry. But most importantly, as I'm sure you may, or maybe you aren't, or you are aware, that when it comes to looking at an individual's synastry, first and foremost, we have to look at the individual's chart to gain a deeper, in-depth understanding of how this will play out, because everyone's situation will play out differently, even if there are similarities in regards to synastry, because no one's chart is the same. Even for twins and triplets, it's going to be different. Okay, seconds, minutes, it all makes a difference. Okay, so anyway, so to give you an example, for instance, now say the sun is in the first house in synastry. This can illuminate one's identity and self-expression, fostering confidence and personal growth. However, it can also lead to an overemphasis on the ego, because the sun is the self, the sun is ego. So this can have an emphasis on, again, the ego and someone's self-importance, So, with that example, with it being in the first house, it can be a case of the sun being self-absorbed, being selfish, Whilst on the other spectrum of it, it can be someone boosting someone's ego, because we all have an ego, but some of us, we have an ego that sometimes it is non-existent, and we all need to have a certain level of a healthy ego. But anyway, now in the 7th house, the sun can bring warmth and vitality to partnerships and relationships, because this is the 7th house. It's ruled by Libra, Venus. So with this dynamic in the 7th house, it encourages mutual understanding and cooperation, meeting in the middle, because that's balance, that's the 7th house. But yet it may also introduce power struggles or an imbalance of attention between two partners. Okay, sorry, between partners, shouldn't say two partners. Anyway, likewise in the 10th house, the sun can energize one's career. It boosts. Okay, but like I said, it can also be an indication of finish off first. Like I said, it can boost one's career, the public image, the driving ambition and success. But on the other hand of it, it can also lead to workaholic tendencies, a relentless pursuit of status at the expense of one's personal well-being, of the other, because this is synastry, so it's the interaction of the other. And then, so my point here is that by being aware of these dynamics, it can help us to navigate the interplay of energies in the astrological charts. So, just like with all things, it's just understanding the dual nature of the sun's influence, and it allows, us to maximize its benefits, but also mitigating the potential drawbacks. So looking at the pros and the cons, the negatives and positives, or, because there's always a shadow side to each house and where one planet is, but we're talking about the sun. So we're embracing both the light and the shadow aspects of the sun placements. So it can lead potentially to a more holistic and fulfilling experience. So with you understanding this introductory to how it can play out, so you understand that with all the 12 houses from the 1st to the 12th, there are positive and there are negative. So things won't always play out in the most beautiful or in the most amazing dynamic. It all depends on what's going on with your chart and how you and another individual's charts interact. But without further ado, let me jump in to the sun and the position of the house I'm talking to for this audio. With the sun in the 4th house synastry, it can illuminate the aspects of domestic life and family dynamics in a relationship. So when one person's sun falls into your 4th house, it can often bring a sense of warmth, security, sensitivity, and a deep emotional connection, because this is the 4th house. So you may feel a sense of familiarity with this person. This person may remind you of someone in your family. This person may they may also help you feel connected to someone, ancestral wise. You could learn something about yourself in your family dynamics through this person. So this placement can make the house person feel seen and understood at a fundamental level. And it fosters a nurturing and supportive environment, because this is the 4th house. It's ruled by Cancer. The moon is here. So with this interaction, things can be emotionally intense. You may find yourself being more sensitive around this person, or feel a bit on edge. But there's a possibility that there could be some ups and downs, possibly. The sun person can help the house person explore and express their innermost feelings and their roots, and sometimes prompting them to delve into their family history or heritage, like I mentioned before. So those DNA tests you can take, those ancestral lineage things you can do, and go online and you can connect hopefully with a relative, a distant relative. You could meet someone that makes you want to do that, and this is someone that could illuminate something about your family, and you become aware to it, And this dynamic can be particularly powerful in long-term relationships, because, you're building a home. You can be creating a family, because these are the central themes of the 4th house. So this is very cozy. It's very warm, and you could be someone that maybe didn't want to have children, and then you meet someone with their sun that falls in your 4th house, and you're like, wow, I never wanted to have children, but now I want to have children. You could envision this, And if you are both single parents, for example, your children and yourself, you'll feel quite like secluded. Like you'll feel like even though you're single parents, your children may see that person as a parent, because there's that feeling of familiarity, and you could picture yourself living with this person, you could find yourself doing things in the home with this person, cooking for one another, spending time in the home. And because this is a home, this person could come into your home and change things around in your home, for the better or for the worse. It just all depends on, how the sun is being aspected, and also on the individual charts involved. But, there's also challenges as well, because the sun person may sometimes feel too responsible for the house person's emotional well-being. And this could lead to a potential imbalance in the relationship, because one person may feel like they're always having to be the responsible one and having to manage or process. There's a word I wanted to use, but it came and it went within not even a second. But yeah, this person may feel like they need to like micromanage the person's emotions, because like I said, you could be someone that's not sensitive, because we're all sensitive in one aspect in our life, in one shape or form, and this person comes along and they shake up your world because you're feeling, all of a sudden. So, it's essential for both individuals to maintain healthy boundaries, to ensure that both people's needs are met and there's not like a over relying on one another, because this is a water house and this is a house that's ruled by the moon. So a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions are involved here, and it can, in some cases, create a codependency on one another. And there's nothing wrong with wanting someone to be your anchor, but you can't, place all your emotional needs on an individual, because that's not fair. You have to be able to manage your emotions in a healthy way. You have to be able to, that word has left me again. You have to be able to process your emotions, and you have to be able to, sorry if you just heard my toddler snoring. I often do these audios when I've settled him to bed and he's quiet. I'm able to work more. But anyway, guys, sorry, I do apologize. So, yeah, you have to be your own anchor, but this person can be a great support system for you, because this person could be an mediator, between you and your family. This person could come in and say you're having issues with your family. You may have Pluto in your fourth house, or maybe your sun aspects Pluto in the fourth house or something like that, and this person could come along and be able to help you overcome obstacles in your family dynamics, and be able to illuminate patterns, behavioral patterns that's been going on generations and generations through your ancestral lineage, something that you're here to break, for example. But you could buy your home. But anyway, just to go a bit back on the home context, you could buy a home with this person, you could end up buying a home that has water surrounding it, like a beach. You could buy a home on the beach, because this is the fourth house. But yeah, overall, the sun in the fourth house It does foster a strong bond that often feels like home. You know, this person may feel like home to you. So wherever you are, you just feel safe, you feel secure, you know, because cancers like to feel secure. They like that security. You know, home is important. But this also encourages both partners to grow and thrive within a foundation of mutual support and understanding. And it's important to remember that while this placement can create a profound emotional bond, it is not, you know, a guarantee that this will be a perpetual harmonious interaction. You know, it requires effort, communication, compromise on both parties. And the sun person should be careful not to overshadow the house person's sense of independence, you know, whilst the house person needs to learn to do, you know, to strive and express their own needs and their desires openly, because the sun can be powerful. This is the sun. So the sun can potentially burn the house person, you know, make them feel defeated, you know. You know, there's some person could be someone that comes into someone's home and they're like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? That could be the other side of the fourth house. You know, you go to someone's home, they could be a messy person, you know, and the sun comes in and they're like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? Did a hurricane happen in here? You know, the sun person could be someone that comes in and starts tidying up the person's home, doing the, you know, things around the house, you know, cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, doing too much, you know, and the house person may not like that. You know, they may not like you coming in and interfering with their home. But in addition to the emotional connection here in the sun in the fourth house, this placement can enhance creative and spiritual dimensions of the relationship, because, you know, discovering your family lineage and your ancestral line, it can be a spiritual enlightenment. You can learn so much about your family, you know, and cancers can be very amazing artists, you know, because they're putting all that emotion into that free flowing of creativity. So you guys could end up painting together as well, you know, and intertwining there. And the sun person might inspire the house person to pursue artistic endeavors or personal growth opportunities, you know, enriching their shared life, you know, with new experiences and insights. But these people could both dive deep into their family dynamics, you know, finding out so many things, you know, and together they can create a sanctuary that nurtures not only the relationship, but also their individual aspirations. And this interaction also can influence the way the couple interacts with their extended family and their community, because you could change and evolve, or you could end up seeing family different, you know, because we have our family, our biological family, sorry, and then we have our soul family, the family we create whilst being on this realm. But there's a sense of togetherness and solidarity with this, and the sun in the fourth house fosters. It can extend beyond the domestic sphere, you know. It can help each individual it can encourage them to build meaningful connections and contribute positively to their surroundings. But, you know, all in all, it's a warm interaction. It's emotional depth. But you know, and you could each remind each other of a family member. I think I mentioned that earlier though. But you can spend a lot of time at home as well with this interaction, you know, going to one another's home. You could find yourself sleeping, like falling asleep at this person's house, you know, just feeling comfortable, getting in their bed, you know, going in their fridge, cozying up together, you know, lighting a candle. But yeah, this could definitely lead to a deeply fulfilling partnership. And, you know, it doesn't have to be all about a love relationship, even friendships, you know. You have an opportunity to be close with this person. But like I said, on the other end of this, you know, you don't want to, you know, one person doesn't want to feel like they're having to be a counselor all the time to another person, you know, managing or micromanaging them, how they feel. Or, because if one of you guys do potentially become hurt, you know, because this is a sensitive overlay, you could end up going into your shell like a Cancer does, you know, and you could end up nitpicking at one another, you know, with the fangs, you know, pinching and being quite horrible, you know, and you could end up tearing each other down. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, this is the sun in the 4th house. But just remember, you know, this will play out differently for everyone. It won't be all roses and flowers, because everyone's 4th house is different. You know, some people have their 4th house in Aries. So, you know, this person could have, on the negative side, this person may have experienced physical abuse, you know. So it all depends. And they may have had to grow up and learn to be emotionally independent, you know, by themselves with having a 4th house Aries, you know. It just all depends. But anyway, take care, guys. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.